What's going on, guys? It's a Wednesday night again, and here we are. And here I am in a new spot, in a new house. I am sitting in my new living room on a couch in the middle of the room because I've been painting all day. I guess I have not got to the wall behind me yet, but uh, been a long day, been a long week. Everybody knows, or I guess you know. If you don't, you're about to know. We Squadron and our entire family, the Squadron being a family business, we're moving to Ringgold, Georgia, which is just south of Chattanooga. We're about 7 miles from downtown Chattanooga, and our new Squadron warehouse is about a half a mile from the Tennessee Georgia state line. So uh, not too far from Tennessee at all. And it's just a lot of work, a lot of stuff going on. Uh, I just started moving myself and my oldest son. We've been back and forth all week from LJ to Ringgold and trying to get this new house that we have ready for the whole family to move. Uh, it's we thought it was going to go a lot quicker, but like we say a lot, unfortunately, things cost more and take longer. Thankfully, it hasn't really costed anything except time. So the taking longer part has definitely been the case. Just things that seem simple, ripping old carpet out, uh, painting walls, to be the colors you want it. Of course, getting all of your stuff moved, but it's just all part of it. And I'll get done. We will get done, and we'll get moved in soon enough, and it will all be worth it in the end. We've got our house in LJ up for sale, and hopefully that will go quickly, but time will tell. In the model kit world, we've got so much going on. It seems like a broken record, what we'll talk about in just a minute. But let me jump over here in the chat for a moment and say hello to everybody. Joseph is here tonight. Good to see you this evening, buddy. The lawn care novice is here again. Hey, you guys were checking in early tonight, 8:30 and 8:40. And Ed, I knew Ed had told me early in the week that he wasn't going to be at home tonight. So you were in Bay City tonight. Awesome. Well, safe travels back to the house, Ed, and good to see you tonight. Looking forward to seeing you back from your house. Rex, good to see you tonight. And my wife, Crystal, is here. Hello to you. She's also traveling this evening. They went to visit family and they were up in New York, actually. So, long road trip ahead of them this evening and tomorrow. So, be nice to have her and the other two kids back at home. Hopefully, I can get everything painted by the time they get here. That'd be nice. Good to see you tonight, Nick. And Greg, good to see you. Wes coming to us from Central Florida. And there's my dad, Russ. He is back in LJ. So hopefully he'll be able to get over here to Ringgold in his new house soon, too. TD, Squadron TV night. That is true. But being here at the new house, I have nothing here as far as model stuff. I've got some of my models here, but they're packed up in boxes. And I wanted to be in my new model room tonight. I'm almost done with it. I got all the walls are painted. I got about half of the new floor ran, but I just thought, why set the computer up? Why go in there? I'll just wait until next week. So hopefully next week I'll be in my new model room, which will hopefully be the new permanent location for our Wednesday night fun. So we'll see. Jason, how are you tonight, buddy? Looks like you've got your X1 finished just in time for your show. Man, I do wish I could get to that show, but it's going to be fun, I know. But maybe next year. But you have fun and go put the X1 on display and send us pictures of it. I'm excited to see how that turned out for you. And you'll have to tell me sometime what you ended up doing with your orange. See how that worked out for you. Good evening to you too, Charles. Good to see you tonight. Michael, talking about your phone, you're on your phone because your laptop was updating. If you recognize that I have some really bright green headphones on tonight, usually I have the headphones I usually have, and but I had to get these from the gaming computer downstairs because I got this. This is my laptop. That's why the video quality looks horrible. So I apologize about that. But I turned it on and got the show started, and the microphone wasn't working. It's got a built-in microphone on the camera. It's not working. So I had to go down and grab these headphones because it's got this microphone built into it. So yeah, I get what you mean, Michael. I thought I was going to have to do the show from my phone, which I'm not exactly sure how that would have worked, but I guess I would have figured it out. Ted, good to see you tonight. And Carlos is here. And TJ, good to see you guys. And Ted, yeah, I hate moving too. I love the end result, or at least I think I'm going to love the end result. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be better for our family. It's going to be way better for our business. But it's a heck of a lot of work. But we'll get there. We will get there. Let's see, Scotty. Yeah, we're working on it. That totally moved in. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I wish it was tomorrow, but it'll be soon enough. Got your 32 scale SBD2 decals finished. Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing pictures of that. Let's see. William coming to us from Bristow. Yeah. 13 moves in 20 years. Oh, because you're in the military. I understand that. Wow. 13 times, though, in 20 years. That's a lot of moving. I guess I shouldn't complain. I haven't moved nearly that many times. I haven't moved that many times in my whole life. So, let's see. Stephen, good to see you tonight. And Matt, Frank from Pennsylvania, good to see you. Keith from Texas is here tonight. And Frank's Trains and Models. Thank you. I appreciate that. And there's our Miami Dolphins fan. Good to see you tonight, my friend. You missed it last week. I was wearing a Dolphins hat. Or was I? No, I was drinking my water from a Dolphins cup. That's what it was. I guess I'll have to put the Dolphins hat on for you one Wednesday night. Good to see you tonight, though. Michael, 3 moves in 35 years. See, I like the sound of that. Oh, but before that, every 2 years. Wow. David, good to see you tonight, coming to us from Canada. Jason, no AC in the house. That is not fun, my friend. I apologize. All right, well, not apologize. I'm sorry. Get that thing fixed, man. I know that's no fun. Scott from North Central Idaho, good to see you. Frank's asking what paint you used. I guess must be talking to Jason, perhaps about that orange. Yeah, let us know what you ended up using, Jason, for your orange on that X1. Gordon is here from Montreal. Good to see you tonight, my friend. Michael's here. Hello. Oh, Jason's already answered him. This delay thing with the live chat, I get like a 30-second delay when you guys say stuff. So I apologize if I answer questions and they've already been answered. But looks like Jason ended up using Mr. Hobby Orange. There you go. Well, good. Miami Dolphins, are the nippers ready for sale? No, but they have been finalized. They've been produced. They're going in the packaging now, and then they're getting in the slow boat from China. So we hope to have those. It's probably going to be end of July or August before we have them. But if you are going to nationals, you will be able to see them. We will have, I don't know, maybe a dozen of each of them at the show. just to kind of show off and let everybody see what they're going to look like. I'll be showing them off here on the show too. We ended up doing 3 different ones, and if I remember correctly, we're calling them, I think, just sprue cutters, which is just your basic rough cut, no bells and whistles, just a regular sprue cutter, cheap sprue cutters. The second one, we're calling it, I think, heck, I forget what we're calling them. I made the packaging and I forget what we call them, but we're having a basic, kind of a middle grade, and then the really high precision ones. So we're going to do all 3, and you can buy them individually, or you'll be able to buy them as a whole set and save a few bucks doing it that way. So they're finally done, and they're headed this way soon. So greetings to you too, Tom. Good to see you. Let's see. All right. I guess that wraps up the chats for now. So we've got so much going on with things we're waiting on. Hey, good to see you tonight, Kenny Wade. Good to see you. I don't remember what I said last week about the shipping. For the last several months, the thing that's really been messing us up on shipping has been customs. And that still is a thing from time to time. But what's been getting us the last few weeks is the Panama Canal having a drought. And when that happens, they don't have enough water to fill the canal for the ships to get through as quickly, or how many ships can go through, or whatever the situation may be. They need more water. And one of our containers was stuck down there for over 2 weeks. Well, it finally cleared up through there last week, and it's supposed to be to Savannah hopefully by this time next week. We'll have to just wait and see. And then, of course, it's got to get loaded on a truck and clear customs and blah, blah, blah. But hopefully within a week or so, week and a half, we'll finally have that. And there's so many new items on there. And it's been so long we've been waiting on this. I don't even remember everything that's on there. But a lot of you have been asking about the 48 scale Kitty Hawk aircraft kits that have been coming out, in particular, like the Cougar kit. Well, that one and a dozen or so other 48 scale Kitty Hawk items are on that container that'll finally be here. And we've got like 3 containers out on the water right now, and I forget which one is which, and they're all just going to like show up. And then we got some more coming in later. But some of the things that are coming, the Kitty Hawks, they're coming. I know the Fly Hawk, the new Achilles kit, 700 scale is coming in both standard and deluxe. Those are finally going to be in. Restocks on the 72 scale Dauntless from Fly Hawks are going to be in. With Kitty Hawk, Kitty Hawk is owned by Zimmy Model, who also owns Panda Hobby or Panda Model. And all of the Panda kits, the 35th scale Panda kits, they're finally going to be here. All sorts of stuff. The going back to the Fly Hawk for a second, the 350 scale Ticonderoga class, I think it's Ticonderoga class, the Cowpens. Forgive me if that's not Ticonderoga. Anyway, the USS Cowpens kit in 350th scale, they announced that, and we've been taking pre-orders on it. And they just announced, and I should have known they were going to do this, but they just announced that they're going to be doing a deluxe version of the kit in addition to the standard version. So if you have seen that news and you are wanting to get that version instead of the standard one, and you have already pre-ordered it from us, don't worry. Everybody that's got them on pre-order, I'm going to be sending an email out in the next few days and giving you the opportunity to upgrade that to the deluxe version of the kit if that's what you want to do. And I'll have all the pricing information on those soon. Let's see. I think the regular version is like $75, somewhere in that ballpark. like many deluxe kits, it's going to be an extra $100 on top of the standard kit. It's going to be about 170, maybe 170, 172, somewhere in there. So pretty standard for a ship model. Usually you see these deluxe versions going for around ballpark $100 more than the standard version. And this particular one's going to be the same kind of thing. So, uh, but those kits are not coming now. They're going to be probably closer to end of July, somewhere in there. Some of the other things that are coming in, the TACOM has a 350th scale Admiral Gorshkov, if that's how you say that. It's been released, and we are so late to the party on this kit, but we will finally have those in a week or so, along with tons of other restocks. We talk about Dragon models, how they're doing all these restocks, or not restocks, re-releases and things. And we've got 65 new Dragon items coming in next week. Just nothing, not the destroyers, not the battleships, uh, but just a lot of their 35th scale stuff. Some of their other items, I think their 700 scale Boxer is coming back out. We'll have those. It's talking about 700 scale ships. Do you remember the Very Fire H class battleship, the German H class? That was kind of very short production run. Those are coming back. We're going to have a restock of those. So I'm pretty excited about those, because when Very Fire went through all of their legal battle, I just kind of figured that kit was done for good. But thankfully, it's back, and we'll have them in a week or so. So just lots of cool stuff. Trumpeter, new stuff is coming in. The Naiad is finally going to be here. That's probably closer to 2.5 weeks out, somewhere in there, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know exactly, but that'll be coming, along with a bunch of other Trumpeter items. Just there's so many new kits and restock kits coming in. I can't even keep them all straight right now, on top of everything I've got going on with the move. But just know there's a lot of goodies that are coming in, that'll be showing up at the end of this month, and a heck of a lot of them in June. I'll show you. Let me get this picture pulled up real quick. This is very cool to me. Bear with me. I should have had this saved earlier. These just showed up to the warehouse today. And these are, if you've got these on pre-order, we don't have them to ship yet. These are, we got a couple of samples flown in for us to display at Wonderfest. And this is from X Plus. Bear with me. I'm working on one monitor tonight, so this is a little bit harder than normal to share my screen. Poof, there we go. So this is the new Rhedosaurus kit from X Plus. And the reason this is interesting for me to show is that until now, I had no idea what the box art looked like, because for whatever reason, they didn't show me the box art. So I thought this kind of looked cool. This is the beta in blue from Jurassic World, the Velociraptors. That's what that box art ended up looking like, which I kind of like. I like that better than their T-Rex. Their T-Rex box art just, it is what it is, but this is a lot cooler, I think. And then this is what the Marilyn Monroe kit box art ended up looking like. Of course, back when she did the USO tour. So those are going to be here for pre-orders and all that, for shipping orders out. Those will be probably July, hopefully in time for us to get the pre-orders shipped out before we go to nationals and take the kits to nationals with us. So we'll see. But just thought I'd show you what those boxes look like, because they ended up looking kind of cool. Let's see. Red Dawn. Did you look into those decals I emailed you about a few weeks ago? I did. I did, and they look very interesting. And after we get all moved and settled in, it's certainly something we're going to look at carrying. We've got a lot of things kind of on the back burner right now until we get moved. But once we get set up, I'm looking forward to getting a lot of new stuff in here. Franco's Trains, you got the catalog. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you got that, and I'm glad that you enjoyed that history in the front of that. It's always fun to tell that story, and one of these days I'm going to tell the entire story on a video, and it's probably going to be rather long because usually when I write that or talk about it with somebody, I leave a lot out, but I want to do a recording of myself telling the whole story and not leave anything out. And if you get bored, you can skip it. Speaking of that, speaking of doing videos and things, I've not posted one of our interview videos in a little while, but I've got two of them cooking, or actually three. Yeah, I've got three. The interview that I did with Roberto Von Bear about sculpting figures, I'm going to post that the weekend of Wonderfest. It won't be very long. It's not a long one, but it's a lot of his sculpts end up being sold at Wonderfest. So I thought that was good timing to post that one. I've got one that I'm going to post with our 3D artist Peter, and I've got to finish that one up with him. So that one will be coming soon. But the one that I just finished doing, and I've got to finish editing the video to get it posted, I hope either this weekend or at the beginning of next week, is I was very lucky to be able to interview John Lucky Luckadoo, who is 102 years old, and he flew with the 100th Bomb Group. He's the guy that last week I showed you his book called Damn Lucky that Ed was kind enough to get for me and get Lucky to autograph it for me. But I was able to contact Lucky and got to speak with him, and he got on his computer. It's crazy. He's 102 years old, lives by himself. From what I understand, he still drives. He completely takes care of himself. He was able to get on the computer just like any of us. Had no issues at all with his camera, and I would not have guessed he was 102 years old just talking to him. He's a super nice guy and extremely sharp. He remembers everything with no problem. So I'm very excited to share that interview with you guys. And like I said, hopefully I'll have that posted sometime in the next week. I want to get it posted up before next Wednesday so we can talk about it a little bit on next Wednesday night's show. So be looking for that. I'll get it posted up as soon as possible. And make sure you get a copy of his book. I haven't read mine yet. It is unfortunately in one of these boxes around here, but as soon as I get that particular box unloaded, it'll sit by next to my desk, and I'm looking forward to reading that. Tom, good to see you from your Villages of the White Sands again. And Miami Dolphins, if you go turn about the catalog, if you look on the website, squadron.com, go to the front page, the home page, and on the left side, I should be able to show you this. I can't do it with one monitor. On the left side of the page where it's got all the links, at the very last link, there's a picture of the front of our catalog, and it says Squadron Product Guide, I think is what it says. Click on that, and that is where you can order one of those. If you can't find it, shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to get an order put in for you. The Scharnhorsts are not in yet, Meandering the Maze. They are, I can't remember if they're coming in on this shipment next week or if it's going to be the one after that. I can't remember. They are done, and they are headed this way. For some reason, I think they're in the shipment with the gearing and the other destroyers, in which case they would not be here until July. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. but they'll be on their way. Let's see. Some of the guys are from the warehouse are watching this and they're sending me messages correcting me. The Scharnhorsts will be here in June. There we go. It's good to I couldn't do this without my team at the warehouse. You know, you gotta have a lot of good guys to make all this happen, right? So I appreciate them for sure. All right, Jason, you've got your next build starting. Let's see what it is. You're going with a P400, the Resurrection. Okay, awesome. Well, I am looking forward to seeing that. You definitely like your Edward kits, don't you, buddy? For good reason. They're certainly nice kits. Speaking of Edward, the uh, the Bloody Hundredth kit, the B17, they are getting close to wrapping up. If they haven't already, they might already have wrapping up their production count, how many they're going to make. And we have given them our final number of how many we are going to order from them, which is more than we have pre orders for currently. But they're selling every day. So if you have not put a pre order in for your Bloody Hundredth 48 scale B17 kit from Edward yet, make sure you get your pre-order in because they will be gone and spoken for by the time those kits are released. I feel pretty certain. That's the same thing that happened with the P51 Royal Class kits and these B17 kits, the Bloody Hundredth kits. So far, they're quite a bit more popular and more. There's more demand for them than even those P51 kits were. So make sure you get your orders in for those if that's something that you would like. Let's see. Let me jump back here real quick. Tom, what happened tonight? I don't know, buddy. It certainly could have been on my end. I'm in a new house. I've got new internet connection here. I'm using my laptop. So if it was me, I apologize, but I'm glad you're here now. And let's see. Ted didn't have any problems. I don't know. I'm sorry if it was on my end. If it was on your end, I'm glad it's all fixed now. Glad we're here. And your question about the B24 from Airfix, they are. What did he tell me? I asked him just last week. He said that they were going to be doing good to get them to us in time for nationals. And what that translates into, whether you're going to the show or not, is it's going to be a stretch to get them by the middle of July. So hopefully the end of July is what we're going to be looking at for those. I think they had a little bit of production delay over in wherever those are made now. India, I think, is where those are being produced. But I think they are on their way. It's going to be just in time for us to get them in time for nationals. If you hadn't figured this out by now, this time of year we have a tendency to base all of our timing and all of our scheduling around nationals. I know everybody doesn't get to go to the show, but for us, it's a pretty big deal. So whenever we start talking about shipments this time of year and we say things like they're not going to make it for nationals, they're going to make it for nationals. It's not that nationals is any more important than customers who can't go to nationals. It's just we go to the show, we take a whole lot of stuff with us. So if there's a new kit that we can take, we really try to have it and take it and display it at the show. So, but the good thing is when we go to the show, usually it's me, my brother goes, Russ usually goes, my dad, he goes and talks to all the dealers and does that kind of thing. And the rest of everybody stays back at the warehouse and they continue to ship your orders out to you all week long. So if you can't go to the show, it's no issue. We're still going to get your orders out, which, by the way, I've had a lot of people email me the last couple of weeks asking if it was okay to place orders. And I appreciate the gesture because these gentlemen were trying to be nice and not get in our way while we try to move by placing orders. And I appreciate that. But the good thing is our warehouse staff is they are 100% staying on day-to-day operations, shipping orders out. So Me, obviously, I'm in Ringgold right now. I am very rarely in LJ anymore. And as a matter of fact, this weekend I'm going back and getting the rest of my stuff from my office, including my phone, and setting it up here at my house while the new warehouse continues to uh, be built. But as far as not placing orders, trying to help us out by not getting in the way, you don't have to worry about that. And not placing orders in fear of us not shipping it because we're busy moving, you don't have to worry about that either. Because, like I said, the guys in LJ who are not able to move to Ringgold with us, they have agreed to stay on with us and keep working until the last truck pulls out of LJ. So I really appreciate those guys and gals for doing that and being willing to do that. But please know that they are staying on top of the orders, and so far we've not had any order delays because of moving. So go ahead and place orders and buy all the goodies that you want, and we don't anticipate having any delays. The last week before we take the last final truck of stuff, we may make some posts about different hours and scheduling and stuff, but that's a few weeks away. We've got to get through nationals. See, there I go talking about timing things around nationals again. We got to get to nationals first, and the week after nationals, that's kind of when we're thinking everything's going to come on over to LJ. I mean, excuse me, from LJ to Ringgold. But I will certainly keep you guys up to date on that. But for now, place orders as you will, please. And don't worry about any delays of any sort because we got you covered one way or the other. Miami Dolphins, Gas Patch. Yes, Gas Patch makes some really nice stuff. We have carried their 3D printed parts in the past and some of their model kits too, their plastic kits, and I think they got some resin kits too. But that's another one of those brands that we've got to get moved before we get a big restock from them back. But they are very, very nice for sure. Hey, Dennis, good to see you tonight. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, the old mailer newsletter. This is something that I really do wish that we could do. And if we could do it for the same price that it used to be able to be done for, well, I would do it. And the problem is not even really the printing price. I mean, printing prices these days are certainly higher than they used to be. But what's really the killer is the postage rates these days. Yes, you can still do bulk mail rates, but even bulk mail rates are just extremely expensive. We've got a newsletter, if that's what we're going to call it, that I'm trying to finish up with. Here I go again. In time for nationals. And it's a 48-page flyer newsletter. I'm actually calling it a catalog update. So this 48 pages is going to include, I don't want to say everything because there's no way it is everything, but it's going to include 48 pages worth of things, whether it be models, accessories, or books that have been released since last nationals when we released our 500-page catalog. So it's things have not changed enough in a year to justify another full 500-page catalog. So we're just going to kind of do an update, and then when we do our next big catalog, perhaps next year for nationals, that'll kind of replace everything. But we've got this on on the bench, so to speak, almost done. And you might be saying, well, how do I get one? If you have purchased one of our 500-page catalogs, you will be getting one. If you purchase one of our 500-page catalogs at a show and you emailed me after the show with your address telling me you got the catalog, you will get one. But if you've gotten a catalog any other way and I don't have your address, then I don't know to send you one. But if you've bought one of our catalogs from last year, you'll be getting one of these. And the amount of postage that I'm going to have to spend just to send all these 48-page flyers out to the guys that bought the catalog. It's a lot. I want to do it. I need to do it. I want you guys to have this. It is a lot of fun. But to be able to justify doing a newsletter and mailing it out every month, perhaps one day, maybe we can figure out better ways to do things or something, because I really would love to do it. But right now we're going to kind of stay on the every once in a while, and base it around a full catalog. And like I said, if you got one of our big catalogs, you will be getting the 48-page one as soon as we get those done. Hopefully, like I said, sometime this summer. Recon Models Vaughn used to live in Fort Oglethorpe. Well, that's cool. Our warehouse is, the address is Ringgold, but if you know uh, where the Brainerd drag strip is, our our warehouse is literally right next to the Brainerd drag strip. And it's funny because Ringgold, I get they if you look at the Ringgold map, it's kind of here, and then they have this one little finger that goes up there, and our warehouse is sitting in this little finger strip, and we're like the only thing up there that's Ringgold. Everything else around us is Fort Oglethorpe. It's kind of odd. But then my house, I'm actually the house address is Ringgold, but we're actually closer to Chickamauga. I'm like 5 miles, 4 or 5 miles from Chickamauga. We're about 7 miles from the interstate, or well, I guess Battlefield Parkway is closer to the house. I'm still learning all these roads, but yeah, Fort Oglethorpe and Chickamauga, and I think what is there, Rossville, Ringgold. There's another little town down the road from me that I was at last night, and I don't remember the name of it, but you got all these little places side by side by side. So I'm learning them. I'm learning them. Hey, Rusty, good to see you tonight. And Frank, yes, sir, that is true. Since 1979, Miami's been here. That's awesome. Howdy to you too, Mark. Linsk, yeah, better late than never. Yeah, earlier, Mark, I was telling everybody why I had these green headphones on. I'm on my laptop tonight at my new house, and the microphone built into the laptop decided to quit working. Let's see, Ed. Yeah, Airfix from India. Yeah, I didn't think about that in the Red Sea. That could be the next issue. But when he was telling me about the delays, it had not even left the factory yet. But now that you mention that, that could be the reason it hadn't left the factory yet. They're trying to figure out how to, you know, do something different. But we'll find out soon. I'm excited about those. They're going to be really neat. And let me go back to, I think it was Tom's question earlier. We were talking about the B-24. I think the end of your question there, I didn't answer it. You were asking about decals. Yes, the B-24 nose art book, the planes, names, and dames book that we're doing. I had mentioned before that that book is going to be coupled with a humongous decal set. And at the moment, those decals are planned to be 20, not 24 scale, 48 scale and 72 scale. So we will have a lot of 72 scale options for that. And I've had a lot of people ask me if we're going to do them in 32 scale. We might, but we're going to see how the 48 scale and the 72 scale goes first. Dennis, just got back from Europe. Well, very cool. Well, I hope you had a nice trip there, buddy. That sounds like a fun time. Well, Mark, glad that you are able to join us tonight. Gordon, Will the catalog and the update be available at the show? The catalog will absolutely be at the show, and the update, unless something really weird happens, will be available at the show as well. So that is the plan, and we will do our best to make sure that happens. Let's see, going back to Airfix's shipments. Yeah, and the reason that I don't know all these answers is, you guys know that I get the majority of my inventory from Russ over at MMD. But Airfix is one of the few brands that I cannot buy from MMD. That has to come from Airfix USA. Uh, so that is a good question. If they are in Washington, there's a good chance they do go Pacific. Greg, you have some old flyers from 13. Yeah, I've got so many now. A lot of you guys have sent a lot of the old Squadron flyers and magazines to me, and I really appreciate that. I've got, oh man, boxes and boxes of them, and they're heavy. I just moved them all. They're down in my basement right now. And as soon as I get everything set up, I want to start organizing them. And I don't know if there'll be a way, like the Squadron Signal books, the inaction books, and walk around and all that. I've got a what do you call it? A checklist, I guess, of every one of them that's ever been made, and that is pretty easy to figure out uh, how many there were and which ones there were. I know I'm going to be missing some because there's probably things that were printed that were not recorded. Heck, there's a whole bunch of like Russian language ones. There's probably other language ones too. So I don't know how complete my checklist is going to be, but I'm going to do the best I can. But on the flyers and the magazines and stuff, I want to try to do the same thing. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, like if you go way back to the early '70s issues that were called the Squadron, those were numbered and they came out every quarter, and that should be pretty easy to figure out. The only thing that might be missing is if they did something kind of off the wall or uh, out of the ordinary that I just wouldn't know about unless I happen to see one. But it'll be cool. It'll be neat. It'll be a neat list, and you'll be able to look at it. And if I can pull it off, what I'm going to try to do is get every one of the covers of them scanned too, and put them in there, so you'll be able to go through. So if you used to have them way back when, you'll be able to go through the list, and you can say, "Oh yeah, I remember those." It might be kind of a cool trip down memory lane just to see some of those, because when you got into like the 80s and the 90s when they were doing the kid of the year, if you remember the Squadron flyers that had the kid of the year, it's kind of cool going back and looking at that, seeing what they claim to be the kid of the year. And you got to figure there were different variables that got them to call a kid of the year, so but it'll be cool. It'll be interesting, and I'm looking forward to getting that done and getting it put up on the site at some point. That'll be a part of the Squadron Museum that I keep talking about. Franco's, if so, model shows up in Pennsylvania, I'm not too familiar with because that's a little bit further than I would drive to a show, with the exception of if the IPMS Nationals were up your way, I would be there. But I know there's some good shows in Virginia. In fact, the IPMS Nationals is in somewhere around Virginia Beach next year. I can't remember if it's actually Virginia Beach but it's somewhere up in that area. So that would definitely be worth you going to. But there's got to be some local shows in Pennsylvania. I don't know what town you're in, but if you go to ipmsusa.org, you can pull up all of the shows, and you can look at them by there's a map view, so you can see everything over around your area. And then that's IPMS. Then there's AMPS. You can go to the AMPS website, which is, I always forget this one. Let's see, amps dash armor. That's what I always forget is the dash. So amps armor.org, and you can look and see their shows as well. And the AMP show, that is just armor. That's the Armor Modelers and Preservation Society. So those shows are just tanks and vehicles. IPMS, of course, being everything. But those are two places that will get you started on seeing where the shows are. Hopefully you can find something to go to because it is a lot of fun. Hey, Josephs, the B-17s, the biggest thing we got going on right now in B-17 world is, of course, the Bloody 100th kit coming out from Edward in 48 scale, and that is the HK Models plastic kit, but Edward has included all of their goodies with it, all their aftermarket goodies, and they have also produced a new plastic sprue that's included that'll give you different nose options in addition to what HK Models offered. So that's the biggest thing we got going there. And then as far as a book and a decal, B-17 will be the second release in our new Planes, Names, and Dames book series right after the B-24. B-17 will be next. That'll be sometime next year. That won't be this year. We're going to be doing good to get the B-24 one done this year, if we even make that. But fingers crossed, right? TJ, well, let me jump back here. Dennis, I'm glad you got some of those from the 80s. It'll be interesting to see how many of them you got. TJ, Border has announced Yamato. It's like everybody decided to do a Yamato all of a sudden. Verifier has a new 350th Yamato, and those are on their way to us. We'll have those in July, I say we'll have them in July. We'll. I got to quit saying that. Is customs and droughts in Panama Canal. You never know, but we'll have those this summer. And then all of a sudden, Border out of the blue announces they're going to do a 350 Yamato. So I don't have any release dates on them yet. I don't have a price on them yet. I hope and assume I'll have some of that information soon. But as soon as I do, I'll get it put up on the website for sure. It'll be interesting to see what they have planned for this. I mean, usually when these new versions come out, it's exciting because it's either something that's never been done, hasn't been done in a long time, or it's being done better than the current offerings. But it's hard to beat a Tamiya 350 Yamato, at least from a quality standpoint. I know some people have their issues with the accuracy on it and all that, but I'm excited to see the Verifier. I'm excited to see the Border, because to just come out of the gate and do one of these battleships, they got to have something better. They got to have something to entice us to go to the trouble of buying this. So I'm really excited to see what they've done and how they've gone the extra yard. Hey, Rusty. Yeah, we were talking about this a little while ago. I've actually got a big restock of Flyhawk that's coming in, I hope by this time next week, a week and a half anyway. I've got the new 700 scale Achilles kit on that shipment. I know that there's some Dauntlesses, the 72 scale Dauntlesses, and there's all sorts of other stuff coming in that restock too. But like I said, that is supposed to be here next week. So keep an eye on the website. And if you, maybe maybe you don't know, if you go to one of the items on our website that you're at, like some of the Flyhawk photo etch, for example, because a lot of that stuff's coming back in. If you click on the item in the list, click on it, there's a little box that says email me when it's back in stock. If you'll drop your email in there and click notify me, it's not a personal email because there's thousands of these things, as you can probably imagine. But with the system, as soon as I say it's back in stock, the system will automatically send you an email and let you know it's in stock. So that way you don't miss out, because sometimes these things They sometimes they go fast. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. But if you put your email in there, you'll at least know when they're back in stock and be able to jump those. And and if you do that, by the way, if you put your email in the notify me when it's back, there's no commitment to buy. I mean, we don't even ask your name, address, credit card, nothing, none of that stuff. It's just the email. So there's no commitment. It's more or less just to let you know, hey, this is back in stock. You can order this now. And the same thing goes on our future pre-order section. All those items that don't have prices yet, you can put your email in there too. And as soon as I open it up for pre-orders, you'll get that same email saying that you can order it now. So just something to keep in mind. Let's see, Mark, you say I have no sound. I really, really hope that maybe it's just on your end. Maybe you have your speakers muted because I would hate to know I have been silent for the last hour. If I have, man, I'm sorry, but check your speakers. Maybe you have them muted or turned down or something. Uh, very sorry if you can't hear me. Hey, Bill, good to see you. Tom, yes, the next show and tell will be, I think it's June 5th. Yes, June 5th. That will be the next show and tell. So make sure to, I hadn't got a lot of people sending me stuff yet for it. So maybe it's because you guys are finishing things up. I know Jason better send me a picture of that X1, but he's probably holding off till everybody sees it at the show this weekend, which I don't blame you. So, but yes, everybody send me pictures for the June 5th show and tell. I will have just gotten back from Wonderfest at that point. So I'll probably have some pictures from Wonderfest to show off because I certainly won't have a model of my own to show off that night. I've got all my model stuff packed up and ready to get it all unpacked. When I get back from Wonderfest, I'm going to be ready to build some models. So hopefully the timing will work out good for me. Ah, okay. Yes, Hampton, Virginia is where they're going to be next year. I knew it was somewhere up there. I just couldn't remember which town. Recon Models Vaughn. Ah, you know Dad. Yeah, he he started out as a model railroad guy, and that's kind of what got me started in this years and years and years ago. So yeah, that's cool. I'm sure Dad's in here watching, so I'll make sure to tell him you said hello. Yep, I am just south of the battlefield. Actually, there's three ways that I can most easily get to our new warehouse, and one of them is straight through the middle of the battlefield. So I'm sure I will take that route a few times because all three ways, even through the battlefield, as slow as you got to go, they're all within 2 or 3 minutes difference. So that'll be a nice drive seeing that. Ah, good deal, Mark. Glad you got that working. TJ got, yeah, I saw that 3D Wild had all the Midway stuff released. So glad you're getting that. Looking forward to seeing how that turns out for you. No worries at all, Barry. Better late than never. It's good to see you tonight. Frank, talking about that bloody 100th kit. I think, let me look real quick. On our website, if you go to our website and pull that item up, I don't have pictures yet. I'm still waiting on the pictures from them, including the box art. But if you click on the item on our website and go up under the description, it tells you everything that's in there. So, and this is not typed by me, this is from them. So it says it includes the B17F from HK Models, additional sprue transparent plastic parts for 2 additional nose types, which are going to be later B17F versions. And these are in addition to what's included in the original HK kit. They are including 7 different color schemes from 3 different squadrons from the 100th Bomb Group. They are including photo etch parts. They don't say how many, they just say photo etch parts, masks, and resin parts. So very, not very descriptive yet. And then, of course, the box art's going to be done by Peter, which is going to be great. So that's what I know so far. As soon as I know more, I will certainly update our website. But they're still trying to get those things done and finished up. So I'm sure that the pictures will follow as soon as they get production done. Thomas, the Dora Wings kits sitting here in Ringgold, I have no idea. But if you will email me, please email me info@squadron.com and put this in there, that's the kit that you want. I will make sure that we bring those to Wonderfest with us. We're going to be packing up for Wonderfest at the beginning of next week. So make sure to send that email to me so I can have the guys at the warehouse put one of those aside for you to bring to us, or to bring to you at the show. That I would love to do it. So info@squadron.com. Please email me what you're wanting, and I'll make sure to do that. Joseph, I am an hour and a half from LJ, where I sit right now. So not too terribly far. You bet, buddy. Looking forward to doing that. Well, guys, I guess that's going to wrap us up for tonight. I appreciate you all being here. And 411 maintainer. Wonderfest is in Louisville at the Crown Plaza, which is the host hotel for the Kentucky Derby, right next to the Kentucky Kingdom theme park, right next to the airport. But yeah, that's where it is every year, or at least that's where it's been for the past several years. So make sure to come check it out. It's a lot of fun. Look forward to seeing you there if you can make it. Well, good night, guys. I appreciate it. I will be back next Wednesday night. I will be here, hopefully downstairs in my new model room. Maybe I'll even have some models unpacked that we can look at. Who knows? We'll find out. But y'all take it easy. Buy some models, build some models. Let me know what I can do to help you. I really appreciate you guys and look forward to seeing you next Wednesday night. Y'all take it easy. Have a good evening.